So I'm here at the systems demo grounds in Moscone South with GregMarsden. He's on the Oracle Linux kernel engineering team. And Greg, you were saying that there's a bunch of questions that keep on getting asked in this audience that people come up to you about. What's the primary one that you'd say is the hot point for this audience?
It's really great to get to stand here and meet with real customers because you get to hear about a lot of their problems. And I can't tell you how many customers have come up and said that they've got 250 gigabytes of memory on their system, they've got 120 gig SGA, and they just can't scale any more connections. And we've been hearing this a bunch of times at this conference, which, there's actually a pretty simple solution to it. We strongly recommend always deploying Linux databases with Hugepages. Hugepages are a way of basically reducing the memory footprint of a shared area in Linux by about a factor of 500. So instead of using 4K pages to map memory, you're using 2 megabyte pages. And this isn't really a big deal if your SGA is like 20 or 30 gigabytes, but if you're getting to like 100 gigabyte or 150 gigabyte SGA, it starts to make a really big difference whether you're using Hugepages or not, because the Hugepages is going to have not only a specific benefit in terms of reducing the memory consumption on your system, but it's also going to have a big impact in terms of performance. The Hugepages, because the page table size is so much smaller, you're going to be able to map more pages in memory, you're going to be able to actually get more client connections. And in the example that I've got on the slides here, we had an actual customer call in where their issue was having 250 gigabytes of memory, they had about 500 megs free, and they were using 120 gigabytes in their page table. So this is actual a real scenario that we filmed, we worked on. And by using Hugepages, we were actually able to get some very specific and large improvements in that particular database system performance.
So this is a before and after shot?
Yeah, so that's just a little test that we did with 200 connections on a 13 gig SGA, a relatively small one, kind of a slow box. But without Hugepages, it was taking 10 minutes to do the full table scan, and with Hugepages, it was taking less than 20 seconds. So it really does make a big difference. The other thing that I just quickly wanted to cover here is that, with OL6 and with all the improvements that we have in UEK right now, one of them is called Transparent Hugepages. And a lot of people have been asking, well, how do I get Transparent Hugepages working? What do I do with Transparent Hugepages? Is it going to make my life a lot easier running the database? Well, Transparent Hugepages has a huge benefit for running Spec-J applications, for any sort of Java middle-tier WebLogic type applications.
Which is obviously a huge part of the Oracle install base.
Which is a huge part of the Oracle install base. So you definitely should get to running UEK, get to running OL6 to take advantage of these Transparent Hugepages. However, they don't help for the database because Transparent Hugepages only help when you're actually doing shared memory, when you're not doing shared memory allocations, when you're doing just process local memory allocations. Then the Linux kernel can come in and automatically turn that into large pages, map them with fewer page table entries, and just more efficiently use the memory on the system. If you're using a database workload where it's all shared memory, well, that shared memory needs to be mapped for all the database processes, and Transparent Hugepages won't actually work. You actually still have to configure those Hugepages, either manually or by using the tools that Oracle has provided. And that's about it for our memory recommendations. This is, anytime you get into large systems, it's really important to make sure you're using Hugepages for them.
Excellent. Thanks.